Alright, this is the dynamic braking with fan to the battery. So instead, I thought about Type A retard, but I came up with this battery amplifier for the locomotive, which has source emitter drains on the sides and then logic squares in the middle to the battery cells. So what happens with instead of the Type A modifier, retarded turnout thing, still goes to voltage regulator system into the battery, and all those electric schematics still rhyme. But we've added a fan to it on the top of the batteries, and then we've kept the logic amplifier rings instead of this one. The battery's filled with battery acid. This one's filled with water. Let me see if I can't go back. It just froze on me. Okay, now we're back to normal. Still froze. So we have the fan that goes to the dynamic braking resistor. The cells for this dynamic fan, these cells would be water. If you wanted to make a hydrogen diesel engine, hydrogen is 90%. The fuel ratio would be 90 hydrogen to 10% diesel. So if you filled these with water and they were doing electrolysis from the traction motor to save charge the battery, you could also fill them with baking soda and make dry cells out of them and then run to the hydrogen. But this shows the source emitter drain. These are battery cells, logic amplifier rings to keep the harmonics in first and second and third situations, source emitter drains. So these source emitter drains go down the wall to the battery amplifier. This is underneath, and we charge the battery from there. So this is the battery amplifier with the dynamic braking system grid. Remember the hydrogen dynamic braking idea, which we call for a dual fuel, another fuel rack, but in another module injector and some type of governor to weigh 90% of the baking soda water from the dynamic braking system grid, or slash water tank, which would be a water tank, and then the electrolysis would make hydrogen to. But that's not the point. That's not this right here is a battery and dynamic braking grid. That was my next idea, but I'm not sure how soon I will be drawing up 2 or 3 fuel racks and another governor for a diesel engine for a dry cell. But it's something I have in mind.